don't judge me. I'm awkward. So yeah, I was saying to you about shoes, about split sole shoes, and that's what I mean about split sole. As I said, they have drawstrings so you can tighten them and whatever. These are the ones I use. I like really funny feet. These are Grishko ones, and they're elasticated, so it bends with my foot. These are the block ones I was telling you about. They're elasticated around the front, so they give you a bit more room. And again, they're split sole. But they're just normal shoes, whereas these ones have the elastic. So yeah, you can really see the size difference between the two when you stretch them out or whatever. A few things you should probably know to get as well, which are really cheap. Tennis ball, you'll see why in a second. Basically just a giant elastic band. It's called a TheraBand, and you can get that on eBay for like a $5. This is the strongest one, which is the blue one. It'll give you more resistance, and it basically makes your feet work harder. Excuse my awkwardness. I'm just gonna show you basically how to point your feet without my shoes on, and then I'll show you, with said shoes on. So, like my fancy trousers, you can get two types of tights. Ones which are convertible, which have like a gap here, so you can like take them off, and you know you've got your feeties, or you've got ones which are just completely footed. But yeah, when I was saying to you about compressible feet, you see the two bones that are here, you know those ones there. If you squish them, your feet will become smaller. See the way my foot moves? It means I have a compressible foot. So it means I have to put stuff in between my toes to make sure it doesn't squish. But it's these bones here across the top that are basically doing all your work. You know your arch from your instep. That's your arch, and that's your instep. Your instep is basically more favoured in the dance world rather than your arch. People with high arches go through point shoes like no tomorrow. Basically, you have your three types of point. You got your flat, you got your demi, and then you've got your actual point. That's good for stretching your toes, but that's not point. That's not actually how people stand on their toes. It's basically just on your big toe. But that's your demi point. That's basically what you're going to be doing. Your main goal is going to be to try and get as far over as you can, because that really strengthens your ankles. But not good. The best thing for you to do whenever you're stretching your feet is tendus, which is basically you're just moving your foot out, making sure you go from demi to full point, and just keep doing that, and that really works your toes. Don't scrunch your toes, that's not proper. Point your toes, and then eventually you'll get your feet working. So that's basically, that's how your foot should be going. So it depends on your feet. I don't know, because we're in 2 different time zones, so I don't know what your feet are like or whatever. You could have better feet than me. But yeah, it's the same with the opposite side. You're just going to make sure you go through your demi, then point, and same, and down. Just making sure you're going through each one. So it just make sure you don't sickle, which is when your foot comes in. That is sickling. See that there? That is called winging, which is not something I prefer. That is basically how your foot is going to be. So it just differs. See, that's sickling. Oh, sorry, no, that's sickling. That's winging. So that's basically the basis. As I said, you've got 2 different types of tights. I'll show you the 2 shoes so you can see the difference, and you'll be able to see which ones, well basically which 2 brands work like. And my sister's probably wondering who the fuck I'm talking to. Ballet flats don't have a left or right until you wear them. but slippers are normally they're not bothered, you can switch between the two, but after a while you probably will feel the difference. It depends, I don't really notice a difference, to tell you the truth. Point shoes is an entirely different matter. Once you've got left and right, you have to stick with it. So, but this is your Grishka, this is your block. You probably won't be able to see the difference, but right foot is Grishka. So I don't know if you can see the way it curves around here, the way it matches with my foot. I suppose it just depends on your own type of feet. Whereas with block, they're just normal slippers, so I find they don't help me work my feet as much. So it depends on you really. You see the way there's a lot of baggage at the front. I like being able to see my toes working, whereas I can't in the blocks. I don't know what else to say. Yes, floor point is basically, you can do it anywhere. The best thing for you to start with is with a tennis ball. You can get a thing which is called a footsie roller. I'll send you the link on Skype. But the best thing for you to do when you have your basically tennis ball is just see your arch is really working that, so it's not tight, because trust me, when you start pointing your feet, you will get cramps. I always get cramps in my arches, so this really helps. I also usually just give them a massage. I'm so weak. Yes, your floor point is basically you just working through your levels of pointing your feet. See, that is just your fully pointed foot. This is your demi. See where my arch is kind of rubbish, but it's just going through the different levels and just really stretching your feet. And because your strength is mainly all in your ankles and how flexible your feet are, and just you'll be amazed at how much difference this actually makes. So I'll show you about the shoes as well, so you can see, even though it probably won't make much of a difference. Like, my feet are horrible. As I said, you're just gonna go through the difference and just make sure you really work your feet. Try and keep your knee completely flat. My ankle goes up like that because I have hyperextended knees. So whenever I straighten my knees, my foot goes up. So that's basically what way mine goes. It's the same with the other side, and these are the blocks. You're just pointing and just working through the different ways, and it even helps whenever you have your TheraBand. It gives you a little bit more resistance. Always have it wrapped around your demi, and just this bit of your foot, just the ball of your foot. Make sure it drapes over your toes. Your little toes more than anything else, because your big toe will eventually get covered anyway. And it's just basically just doing the same, pulling it as tight as you can, just giving yourself resistance. See what I mean about how when it's not covered? Make sure your toes are covered. And then just go through the different stages, and that really works your feet. I usually do about 10 or 20 of each. Yeah, so it's basically really it. But whenever, oh my god, I can't talk today. Whenever you're doing just normal point work to strengthen your feet, releves and tenders or tendus are the best. Tendus is when you're pointing your foot out. You know, you're working through your demi to your full and just back and forth. That is basically your first position and goes together, legs completely straight. That is your first position. If your tendu to the side where your toes are, your foot goes down, and that's your second position. That's basically the only two you really need to know at the minute. The other one after that, you do have 3 point and go round. That is your fourth. It's basically just a gap between, you know, your back leg and front leg. If you come to here, which is halfway, that's third position. If you slide it across, that's fifth position. But we only really use first and fifth. For you, I'll probably really just stick with first and second, or maybe even third until you get your turnout. It depends whether or not you want to work with your turnout. But yeah, as I said, releves are really good for strengthening, because you see the way my ankles wobble. That's cycling, whereas that's winning again, and that's something you really need to work about. And that's just basically the best way to strengthen your feet. It's just rising. That's basically just such a releves, just rising up and down. And even if you go with one foot at your ankle here and rise up and down, or even bend your knee right up, that strengthens your ankles too. So yeah, that's, I don't know really what else to say. It sucks, I know. So bye.